Hey everyone, I want to talk about this whole atheism plus thing that I've seen going around recently. It actually started when I read a tweet from Heisenberg, I guess his name is now. He used to be Godless Hayes on Twitter. Um, when he was talking about atheism plus, and I thought this is something I've heard a little bit about, but didn't really know a lot about it, and what it was, what it involved, who was involved. And I'll leave a few links below so you can see for yourself, what it is and what's going on. But it seems to be an idea for a movement that originated on free thought blogs, and it seems to be gaining a lot of traction. The short synopsis for this video is that I am not a fan. Now, if you want to leave it there, then that's fine. But I'm going to go into a bit of detail about why I don't particularly like this, and why I don't really like, viewing this atheist plus as some sort of, big movement. Be forewarned though, this video is probably going to get a little bit rambly, and I'm probably going to shoot off in the different directions. So this atheism plus seems like a stupid thing to me. Why the fuck would I care if someone is an atheist if they don't have the same beliefs and ideals as me? I have no more allegiance to one particular atheist than I do to anyone else that I share one thing in common with. Why would I join a movement based on one sole thing that I'm not even 100% sure of? There seems to be a move by some atheists recently, within the last few years, to try and get the word atheist to mean other things. In one of the links I'll leave below, there's a guy called Richard Carrier. He talks about marginalizing the evil in our midst. But aren't these people atheists? So what does atheism mean to you, Richard? I'm sorry, but bad news, guys. The people, the evil that you're trying to marginalize, and the fact you're trying to cut off, those guys are atheists, no matter how much you may want to disown them. It's the price you pay for fixing a label to yourself. You have to take the bad people as well as the good people that affix themselves with that particular label. Atheism means one thing and one thing only, and trying to get it to mean more than that seems pointless and frankly a waste of time. You don't need to make atheism a more of an umbrella term, because its definition is so pinpoint and concise. If you don't want to associate with the beliefs of certain other atheists, then don't. You have no obligation to. This pisses me off, because this is what happens when people put too much importance on their atheism. It becomes their defining feature, and they see everything through that prism, even things that have nothing to do with atheism, and they try to make it come together, or try to twist it so their atheism passes through it somehow. Really, it's almost like the theists have won their battle. When they blanket all atheists with the same sweeping generalizations and statements, and it seems like some atheists have really taken this on board and feel like they have to get under a banner that says, hey, we're not like those other atheists. We're cool. You don't have to justify the ideas of someone else just because they have something in common with you. And militant atheists really would learn something from there. Just because the Bible says one thing doesn't mean all Christians have to answer for it, and not all Christians have to answer for the behavior of some of the extreme people in their religion. Now, it's not as if the atheism plus it's not as if their goals or their objectives are completely derisive, or not things that I agree with. The goals that they're going to advocate for, as you can see, and the things that they want to tackle are laudable, and the ones that I agree with. Marriage equality, transphobia, racism and sexism, these are all good things that need to be addressed and need to be solved. But what do they have to do with atheism? Why even bring atheism up at all? There are plenty of secularists who are theists out there, and they're also activists on these issues. And making a group that, right in the name, that excludes them, I see as a problem. Homophobia, sexism, racism, these are things that we need to all work on together, regardless of where we come from, or what we believe. And personally, that really doesn't bother me. I don't care where you come from, what part of the world. I don't care what God you believe in, or your other personal choices that you've made, the other beliefs that you have, ideas that you may have thought up. If you can help fight injustice and inequality, and then you are my kind of person. You're my kind of guy, or gal, as the case may be. Non-belief in a god, or even belief in any of the gods that are out there, has got fuck all to do with that. And it seems to serve the ego of the people pushing this movement more than the actual issues. And another thing, this pisses me off as well. I told you this would be rather rambling. A lot of people seem to equate skepticism and atheism. Now, when the fuck did this happen? When did being skeptical come automatically after you stop believing in the God? To me, the fact that some atheists believe this is proof enough that some atheists are just fucking stupid. It may be hard for some people to understand, but you can be a completely irrational and bigoted atheist. Just look at James Watson. James Watson is a scientist and an atheist who helped discover DNA. He's won Nobel Prize, won multiple awards, but he also thinks that black people are genetically less intelligent than white people. So there, again, proof if proof was needed. You don't even need to have become an atheist through skepticism. I didn't. I've never been religious. The things that I was forced to do when it comes to religion as a child, it never really stuck, and I just kind of fell into atheism. So I definitely didn't come through skepticism or any sort of reasoned logic. Just because some do, not saying it doesn't happen, but just because some do does not give you the right to throw skepticism around like it applies to all non-believers in God. Always equating, skepticism and atheists, like grouping them together as if they're fucking synonymous. Get off your fucking high horse and realise that people can be curious and skeptical about some things, but not others. Atheists are no different, and stop pretending like somehow we're better than everyone else. Honestly, this seems like this is a militant atheist's wet dream. It's a movement, it's a banner that they can unite under that draws attention to their atheism so they can tout it wherever possible. Have some atheists stopped being bored with feeling morally superior to others that they feel they need to step it up a notch? Really, if you want to join a group with rules for entering, with goals, with missions, and with dollops of arrogance and pomposity, then just join a religion and be done with it. The groundwork there has already been done. All you need to do is go and join. You don't even need to, they've been set up for thousands of years. Just go and join a religion. According to the blog post by Richard Carrier, the sexism and racism will not be tolerated. Now, this is a good thing. I'm all for not tolerating those kinds of horrible ideas. But then this group is not really for all atheists, is it? But then that brings me to the question, why call it Atheist Plus or anything to do with atheism? If you're a movement focused on social change and equality that's named Atheist Plus, but exclude certain atheist beliefs, then why not call it something more akin to the goals you want to achieve? Why not call it something like Secularists Unite or something like that? You don't need to draw attention to the fact that you're atheists. To me, frankly, I would rather join a progressive party that anyone can feel at home at, not in a movement that seems to want to put the fact that they're atheists into the movement's name over anything else and may make some people feel excluded. I wonder if the proponents even care. I just see it as needlessly exclusionary at a time where we need to pull together. I'm just not the kind of person whose atheism means that much to me. If you are, then great, this group may be for you, but I'll pass. I'll wait for a group that doesn't provoke such a us versus them mentality. I mean, look at the comments in the link below if you don't believe me. My atheism doesn't define me, and I don't feel the need to broadcast to the world that I am one, because it's not that important, and it doesn't make me any more moral or skeptical or reasonable than anyone else. Now, you could say the whole point of this group is to try and put atheists in a more positive light, but then that's not strictly true, is it? It's only atheists who have the same political ideology as you. The others, I'm sure you probably couldn't give a fuck about. I assume, but I don't know for sure. If I find out that I'm wrong, then I'll put something in the description box. I'm more than willing to admit when I'm wrong. But I assume that this movement is going to be for more liberal economic policies, like more taxation, more spending for entitlements like Medicare, Medicaid, and less spending on defence. Well, whether you agree with that or not, what about fiscally conservative atheists? Are they not going to be part of Atheism Plus, or is everyone who doesn't join and agree with you just going to be part of Atheism Less? No kidding at all. That's what Richard Carrier put in a comment in the link down below. Go and see if you don't believe me. He also said that humanists that don't believe they should insult religion aren't part of this new Atheism Plus movement. Wow. I'm glad this guy is here to tell us what atheism is and isn't. Apparently real atheists mock and ridicule religion as much as they can, and you have to agree with that if you want in this little club. He also sees a problem with secular humanism. Quote, "The problem with secular humanism is that it is an umbrella term that includes more than just atheists in the Atheism Plus sense. It also includes humanists of other varieties whom we do not identify with." A group that includes more than atheists? No! He also says in the same comment that we, which I assume means everyone in his little clique, are atheists above all, and religious belief is the primary threat to happiness for people in the world. Because, food and water shortages and territory and power disputes aren't bad enough in his eyes, I guess. So in closing, this idea is stupid. It's basically a bunch of people trying to make the word atheism mean exactly what they want it to mean, in order to get rid of the atheists who don't believe the positions that they do, and to make sure everyone who knows them, and everyone who knows the movement, knows that they are atheists. A process to weed out the atheists that they don't like, so there will be an even bigger circle jerk going on. Richard Carrier is getting quite hostile to people in the comment section of his blog post, even when it comes to people who say they're atheists but aren't going to join this group. And even calls one of them psychopath. So if the people of Atheism Plus, whoever you are, if you want to think of me as your enemy or a psychopath, go right ahead. If you want to divide up your forces into fight people that agree with you but don't want to join your little group, I mean, yeah, you want to do that, fine by me. I'm still going to be for gay rights and gay marriage, equality among the races and the sexes. Fine, I'm going to be always still going to be for these things. It's just that holding these positions, in my opinion, that makes me a good person, not my atheism.